I start talking fast and we're in this disaster. And I can see the disaster happening and I can't stop it. It's train wreck and you're out. It is horrible every time. My name is Aubrey Lynch and welcome to my channel. I want to talk about anxiety. It's a hot topic. Everyone's talking about it because it's real. A lot of us have it. I have it terribly. And I heard this great phrase. I wish I knew who said it first, but I'm going to quote them, whoever they are. Anxiety lies. I love it. It's so perfect because anxiety lies. It lies to us all day, every day. Anxiety is really fears that are likely never going to manifest. Just your ancient brain looking out for you to keep you safe, keep us safe. We just can't let it drive the car too often. Anxiety is a critical part of who we are. It's how we survived on the savannah way back in the Neanderthal days. You know, when you literally were going to get eaten if you weren't paying attention. So that readiness and that alertness was just part of who we were, and that's never gone away. It's still in us. And without the lions lying in wait, literally lying in wait, your brain has to put that stuff somewhere. And there are certainly metaphorical lions everywhere, sometimes laying in wait to pounce. And sometimes they do. It's one of my favorite topics because it's something that I've battled with all of my life. I can remember being in grade school and having to go home because I was in a state of panic about one thing or another. It took me an entire lifetime to figure out that, oh, that's an anxiety disorder. When I was in the wings, when Alvin Ailey, in my glorious dancing days, I would get this nervous stomach that would be so intense, I really thought I would throw up. There were things I couldn't eat before a show because I was going to get nervous no matter what I was doing. And when it came to doing the really big stuff like Centerman or Revelations and those classic ballets, I would be really, really scared. Of course, the moment I stepped onto the light, onto the Marley, the curtain rises up, this peace would come over me. I would be home. But until that moment happened, I was literally managing craziness in my head. I thought everyone did that. I thought that was normal. And now, over all of these decades later, looking back, I'm thinking, that wasn't really normal. That wasn't okay. And I didn't know. I didn't know that what I was feeling was just not butterflies. I mean, my entire day revolved around that half-hour call. 7:30 before curtain. Everything I did was getting to the place, costume, makeup, my little practice, my class, my meditation, my music, all ready for that 8 o'clock curtain. And managing the wave of terror that would come every night. And 2 show days, twice a day. I can laugh now, but it was real. And so when people talk about it, I know that in that moment, there's not much you can do to tell yourself that, okay, that's just nervous butterflies. What worked for me, and I think comes up when I speak to professionals, is that you need an anchor in reality. Because again, anxiety are these voices that are saying things that are just not necessarily true. They're just not true. They haven't happened yet. So things can change any second. And you're not destined to fall into this pit of horror, like your brain's telling you. And so you ask yourself, what's true about this moment? Is this thing really going to happen? Sometimes it will. If you're walking down the street, it's late at night, and you see, some suspicious behavior going on, you might want to walk the other way and trust that anxiety that may come up. But you're at the office doing something, and you get the email from someone, and someone goes, it happens, right? You got to tell yourself, okay, what's real? What's real about this? The feeling is real. You have every right to feel like your anxiety is worth attention. Is what you think gonna happen really gonna happen? If it does happen, whatever happens, chances are you're gonna get through it. It might be rough, but you have already proven in your life that you've gotten through it. So in your journal, you should keep a journal. I recommend having a journal. Always have a journal. Write down the things that prove you have survived. I thought they were talking about me, they weren't talking about me. Or I thought they were talking about me and they were talking about me. And guess what? I got through it. I thought I was going to get fired and I got fired. Or I thought I was going to get fired and it was just a rough day for my boss. Either way, it might be dastardly and rough. You're going to get through it. You got to keep telling yourself that. And you want to be compassionate to your anxiety because it will help you. It's like an ally, right? It's part of you. And it comes in handy. Okay, there's that voice again. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate the heads up, but I'm good. Sit over there. Anxiety. Thank you for sharing. Back over there. Literally have a conversation. One way that I like to manage anxiety is actually honoring it. You know, I literally close my eyes, and I've done this with professionals, and I can envision exactly what my anxiety looks like. You know, what it kind of feels like. I know exactly where my body, it lives when it comes. I can see it and feel it, and I can almost predict now what's going to activate it. So I become conscious. Okay, when I am in this situation, it's going to show up. When I'm in that situation, it's going to show up. And when it has shown up in that situation before, here's how I handled it, here's what I got through. And sometimes it's intense, like when you're going to go public speak or something, and you have to go and perform a speech in front of a lot of people, and you've practiced it, and you don't want to make a mistake, and that's nerve-wracking, even for trained public speakers. Okay, I'm going to get nervous, but I'm going to get excited. I'm going to envision a successful version of that speech. I'm going to imagine the best case scenario, because sometimes dreams come true. I ask myself, what if it all goes right? What if everything that you planned goes exactly as planned? When does that ever happen? But it happens. It can happen. You can go up there and become the next Oprah Winfrey. It can happen. Stranger things have happened. Politics, presidents come to mind. If that can happen, you can do anything. Seriously. If the craziness happening in politics can happen, you can do anything. You can certainly battle your anxiety. So the first step is to understand that it's a part of you, an important part, but it is not you. You are not made of pure anxiety. It may feel that way sometimes, but when you came into the world, you were pure love. Pure love, the vessel of a soul that's much bigger than any human body, much bigger than the universe. That's who you really are. And anxiety has come about because you've trained it to protect you. And it's part of your ancient brain. It's right back here, I believe, somewhere there, that will come out when it's friend or foe, fight or flight, right? It activates to protect you. Know it's coming. I suggest go to your journal, and you should, of course, have a journal, and write down, here are the things that really stress me out. Here are the things I fear will happen. Get it on paper and get it out of your head. And you realize, you know what? That's ridiculous. Or you know what? That one's kind of true. And what I find is for the things that are actually real fears, putting an action to it helps. Got a speech? Rehearse. Rehearse it so much, even if the theater falls around you into dust, you can still stand there and do that speech the way you practiced it. Know it that well, right? Prepare yourself. Train yourself. Make sure you've spoken to your mentors about these issues, whatever the issues may be. It's about being ready for that moment to perform whatever that task is that's creating anxiety. The more you prepare, the easier that anxiety is going to be because you're ready for whatever happens. It's kind of hard to dissect exactly the tool that I use, but something about understanding that anxiety is not me. It's not who I am. It activates in certain circumstances. There are times that I'm totally chilled out. I don't have a care in the world. Not very often, but I can find those moments. And those moments you want to hold on to and remember those moments. When the anxiety shows up, okay, there it is. Acknowledge it. It's there. It's real. It's a warning. Is the warning real? Is what you think might happen going to happen? Like you're driving in the snow and you've got to get home and it's late and the windshield wipers are going and all of that stuff's happening. And it'd be stressful. I just know that I'm going to drive slow. I'm going to stay awake, and I'm going to take my time and get there. You just talk to yourself and acknowledge it. I know you're afraid. You're afraid for a good reason. Things could happen, but they haven't happened, and they're probably not going to happen. So don't spend too much time imagining this horror that might befall you. Just get home. It can be that simple. Now, I don't want to trivialize these real fears, because anxiety is real. It is real. And when it shows up, especially for someone like myself who has an anxiety disorder, right? Anxiety is off the chart all the time. All the time. I have developed a relationship with it. I know when it's going to show up. I know when it shows up. And I found that just acknowledging and being aware that it's there really helps me. I'm going to go to this meeting and I've got to present and I'm going to handle it. I'm going to get through it. I know this. So what are all these nerves happening? So sometimes I get mad at myself and that's not really great. But sometimes I go, you know what, Aubrey? Anxiety is important, but we don't need this right now. You're going to be fine. Just rehearse yourself. Preparing yourself makes all the difference. The next part is when you go into these situations and the anxiety shows up in real time. How do you manage that? Slow down. Take a moment. If you have to speak slowly. Take pauses. Check your breathing. Check your heart rate. If you don't have to do it right now, take a step away. Take a bit of a walk. If you're under the gun, you have to actually react to the moment. Make them wait. My problem has always been I want to get through it and get it done. I start talking fast and we're in this disaster. And I can see the disaster happening and I can't stop it. It's train wreck in your eyes. It is horrible every time. Every time it is humiliating when I'm stuttering and speaking fast and tripping up my words and like I just did, that is just horrible. But I've learned to love that part of myself. It is who I am and it's not going anywhere. So when it shows up, okay. You really messed up that word. That was really hilarious. You can see in their eyes that they're kind of holding back laughter because it is funny. I'm sure I sound ridiculous sometimes. You get through it. And most times, for me anyway, I'm pretty sure people are not even noticing as much as I am because I'm constantly aware of it. So what I'm saying is in real time, when you're having your anxiety, when you're having that moment, just love yourself, take a moment with yourself, give yourself the breath, and then keep going. The most important thing to tell yourself is that anxiety lies. It lies and lies and lies. And you have anxiety, you're going to have anxiety. And that anxiety is lying. You've got anxiety, that you're going to have anxiety, that you're going to have anxiety. And there are lies because whatever happened hasn't happened yet. It comes down to trusting yourself, trusting your talent, trusting your training, trusting your ingenuity, your cleverness, all of the things that have become a part of who you are, the survivor in you. Focus on that person. Empower the part of you that works. If you think about the anxiety, you'll go right off the cliff with the anxiety because that's where the anxiety wants to be. If you stick with the resilience and the power and the training, that keeps you on track. And the anxiety will be in the background, the background noise. It really works. And when it does work, it's so awesome. I can't say that I'm a master of my anxiety, but it's something I work on every day. And it's important. It's important for me to share that because I have a feeling I'm not alone. Another thing that I think is really powerful is trying to create an environment for others where anxiety can happen and dissipate. If you know, for example, a friend is going to do something that they're stressed about, create an environment where they can fail. Give people permission to fail because anxiety is often, I'm going to mess this up, I'm going to fail, all these things are going to happen to me, especially at work. You can create an environment where your coworkers are free to make mistakes. What a gift that is for them. What an amazing gift that is to give people that you work with and hopefully care a bit about because the work is important. And your family and your friends. Tell them, I make mistakes, you make mistakes, and how's the anxiety doing? And just know that you're good with me. Really go out of your way to try to make others feel comfortable. Because in doing that, it comes back to you, so that when you're in the hot seat, they're going to go, okay, they sense the anxiety, but we're family. Just speak. We got you. We got you. Wouldn't it be great? So, prepare, train, rehearse for whatever these moments are where the anxiety comes. Get yourself ready. 2, have an anchor in reality. This is what's true about this. I'm going to speak in front of these people. I'm rehearsed. And if I make a mistake, no one's really going to care. I just want to do a presentation. That's simple. 3, spend some time with your anxiety. Not literally in the anxiety, but think about it. When you're calm and have your music playing and you're in a nice centered space, envision yourself with this beautiful ball of light and love. That's what you are. A big, beautiful, huge being of light and love. And anxiety is kind of buzzing around, protecting that light. Figure out what it likes to eat, when it's asleep, when it wakes up, what it sounds like, and just kind of be aware mainly of when it's going to happen. And then go through the things you can do to battle it or to walk with it, to live with it. When it shows up, I'm going to breathe. I'm going to take a pause. I'm going to recognize it's there in real time. And it will dissipate some. If you fight it, it's going to get worse. You have to say, okay, there it is. And then continue. I'm working on that piece. I'm not great at that because I think go. I want to just go. But when I do, it works. It works. Create an environment where love can happen. Forgiveness, where people are free to make mistakes. Give that gift to everyone that you know because it will come back. And when you're in that space, they will understand and they'll be in their own way. And that's what we need. And do me a favor and love yourself. You are all the wonderful, quirky things that you are because you are, as I am. And I've learned to love as much of me as I can, even though I annoy the hell out of myself, as part of life. And forgive yourself for being human, right? You're human, and humans have anxiety for a good reason. Also, I think it helps to write down where in your life has anxiety helped you? Where has it come in handy? Where has it warned you? Where has it been right? Where is it a useful tool? Where has it protected you? Make sure you're clear on that as well. The whole point of this is to be conscious. This is a part of emotional intelligence, a part of having the capacity, a greater capacity to bounce back, a greater capacity to get through the things in life that are just really tough. And it is tough. And you have a right to be afraid. There are things in the world that are really, really bad, that can be really, really bad for all of us. And you're going to survive them. You will. You've already proven that you can. So hang in there. Remember, anxiety lies. Lies like a rock. If you like this video or videos like it, please like and subscribe and join my channel. And let's stay on this road of self-reflection and increasing our emotional intelligence and being the beautiful beings that we were put on this earth to be. See you there.